All right, hi everybody. How you doing? Think I'm going to put together a quick little demo here about drawing cylinders. I just wanted to show you. So here's a photo of what I'm looking at. Now, very important to note, I am not drawing from the photo. I just wanted you to see. It's a basic bucket like we did in class. I just thought it'd be helpful to kind of have this as a demo. Now, I'm working on my iPad, and so you might hear me tapping. That's because that's using my Apple Pen on the glass surface of this. It's just easier to record that way. Okay, so now I've got the photo turned off and I'm looking at the photo. I'm looking at the real bucket. I'm drawing from life, from direct observation. And I'm going to start with a very quick sort of gesture drawing, which I showed you guys to do. My bucket's a little bit taller than it is wide. I'm just eyeballing it. And my piece of paper that it's sitting on is a little wider than it is tall. I mean, this is roughly correct. And I need that in general. It's just a first 5-minute drawing. I mean, there's other stuff I can see here. I mean, you don't have to do this, but I can, pretty soon you will. I've got a lamp back here, and there's a couple of things sticking up behind it. My hand sanitizer and a couple of pencils, and I can even see the back edge of my desk back here. Okay, so just generally and lightly, that's a gesture drawing. It's kind of a very quick first 5-minute drawing, so I know what's on the screen, on the page, and what's not. Okay, so I'm going to go back now and just get my cylinder. So I'm going to start by drawing a spine down the center. So I want this thing to be symmetrical. I'm going to start with some marks to kind of approximate the height of my ellipse on the top. And I want to measure this height right here, right? And I'm going to use that then to measure this height. And remember, by measuring, I mean, you can't see me, but I'm kind of eyeballing it. I'm closing one eye. I'm locking my elbow. I'm using my pencil as kind of the skewer that we did in class. 1, 2, 3. I got about 1 to 3. So this is my 1, and then I've got like 1, 2, 3 of those, which means I got to go a little bit lower, kind of down there. So I'm going to get rid of those heavy marks. So I know to get the proportion of the height of the ellipse to the overall height of the bucket, I kind of got that now, which is good. Now I got to get the height of the ellipse compared to the width of the ellipse. And so again, I'll go back again. I'm going to do it again. Elbow locked, one eye shut. I'll measure that height of the ellipse, and then just turn 90 degrees and go, let's see, 1, 2, about 3 1/4. So if I measure this right now, it's like 1 is this, and then I measure across here on the page. I'm touching my page. 1, 1, 2. So this is too tall. I can see. So I need to bring this. I need to make the whole thing a little bit wider compared to what I did have. So boom, boom. Let me try this again now. 1, 2. Yeah, that's about right. So now I have my height and my width of my ellipse. I want to have a horizontal line here. Remember, this and this should be about the same height, right? And side to side, this and this should be the same. Your ellipse is going to be symmetrical. The only way it wouldn't be symmetrical is if your top was not round. But it is in fact round, even though you see it elliptically. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my ellipse in. See, I'm kind of going light. Not trying to make too heavy marks. Okay, not bad. Remember, beware the hot dog. That's too flat in the middle. And beware the football that gets pointy. There's no corner here, right? It stays round all the way through there. I zoom in, see what I mean? It's got to stay rounded all the way around there. Whoops. Shoot. Zoom out. Come on. I can see I'm a little flat over here in the lower right quadrant. Okay. Hey, it takes a little bit of fudging. You monkey with it till it gets right. You know what that's called? It's called drawing. Figuring things out on the paper, that's drawing. Okay, so now if you look back at my photo, you can see, I've got that sort of lip on it, which is the lid, and you can see at the bottom of it tapers a little bit. So I'm going to start getting that in a little bit. I can, for the height of this lip, I'm really just going to guesstimate it. It's pretty thick as these things go. And remember, don't let that flatten out. I'm going to draw that whole ellipse. And then the sides of this, look how it bumps in. That lid is pretty far out. It really bumps out there. You know what I mean? See how this goes up and then over and around? So make sure you kind of allow for that kind of thing in your contour. So I'm going to taper these in just a bit. They get a little bit narrower at the bottom. Just a bit though. And my bottom ellipse is roughly the same size as my top lip. So this height is roughly this height. So again, I can put my horizontal mark in and know that that's the width of my ellipse at the bottom, and this is my height up, and I draw that whole ellipse in. It's looking a little lopsided. I think I got too much room on this side. This is smaller. Well, okay, I'm going to have to fix that. I'm going to have to bring this in a bit. That's going to mean bringing this in a bit. It's going to mean adjusting my ellipse up here. That's okay. You know what? That's what erasers are for. I can start erasing a little bit. Readjusting this. Now I'll go back up here and work with my top ellipse. It's not an exact science. When I say that we're sort of like measuring things, we are, but we're not measuring them like with a ruler or something. This isn't science, it's art. It's objective somewhat, but you've got to kind of monkey with it to get it just right. So I can start erasing. You've got an eraser? I can start erasing like the backs of these ellipses. And my spine a little bit. Look, I'm erasing that middle. I'm kind of making a point for you guys to not erase too much. I can kind of lighten up my tick marks a little bit so they're not standing out so much. If when I lighten them, I kind of lose my line, look at the front of my top ellipse. Well, I'll put it back in. Okay. Sorry you guys can't see. I'm going to erase a little bit down at the bottom now. I zoom in here. You can see I'm cleaning up my line. If I were, working physically with an actual, not on screen, I'd be doing the exact same thing. Remember, your eraser, it's not a mistake fixer just. It's, sometimes it does, but it's a drawing tool. Can you see how I got a little bit of hump up here? I gotta bring that down a bit. I'll get my pencil again and smooth that out. Get my eraser again, come over here. I can start erasing. What I find I erase a lot are like my first attempts. I tried it. Look, I had it too wide on that side. Figuring it out on the paper, that's drawing. I'm literally thinking with my hands and thinking with the pencil. So, that's not bad. If I show my photo again, you can see there's a lot more details here with this lid. And so I can start to work on that a bit, meaning there's even more happening in terms of the contour here. So there's like another, there's another contour that kind of comes around here, and it pops out sort of even further. So if I take that all the way around, that's, keep ending up with my eraser by mistake. Remember, all this is curved here. Don't let this stuff flatten out. Yep, so. There's even a little bit of a lip that runs around the top of my lid. And there's even like a little sort of a thickness in here. The lid I just see inside there. And there's even, this is a little dispenser with like sanitary wipes coming out of it. Might as well get that in there too. This has a little extra lip that runs around here. And there's even like a label on this. Notice how everything's, this is a paper label that's, stuck on this thing. So I'm not going to write all the letters out, but I can kind of suggest some lines of type here. Why not? There's a little label here that has, remember, all these are curved too, since these are all elliptical. There's There's a little SU logo there and some important type on there. I even see kind of a reflection over here. Now, very importantly, I got to get this piece of paper that it's on. And so I asked myself, where does the back of that piece of paper kind of run into my bucket? Is it halfway up? Is it more than halfway? It's less than halfway. It's kind of down here. And as I can see, as it goes from left to right, it angles up a bit. Okay. Now I don't see it out here. What I see out here is this angle coming down, kind of like that. In front of the bucket, very little space, just a little bit of space here. My first estimate was way too far down. Now remember, the front and back of the paper are parallel, and then the left and right sides are parallel. And there's quite a bit more space over here. So like this guy and this guy are parallel, right? And this guy and this guy are parallel. Okay, that's not bad. Now I can even see like the front of my desk, the line there, and yeah, so remember I told you, like, I got a lamp back here. You can see sort of the bottom of that lamp. Why not draw that in a little bit, just loosely. This is called gesture drawing, this very loose, we're kind of drawing from your elbow. I mean, maybe you don't know exactly that that's a, I've even got some boxes back there. These are little cardboard boxes on my desk. I keep pencils and stuff in them. And then there's, I told you, there's a little hand sanitizer pump back here. And I see a paintbrush sticking up behind this thing. That might have gotten a little bit dark. So I'm gonna make my brush a little pointier. So I can still go in here. I can zoom in on my paper. In your case, you just lean in, and I can clean this up even more. I can start to really make this. I sort of sharpen my pencil and really start to bring this into focus now. And so this might be where you would switch from a 2B pencil to a 4B pencil. Now, I'm not going to take the time to do this entire thing right now. But the lighter marks I made have allowed me now to have the confidence to go in and make some darker, cleaner marks. And as I do that, I can use my eraser and I can kind of clean up the previous marks even a little bit more. And I've tried to emphasize in class, it is not important, in my view, to make what anybody would call a perfect drawing or a perfectly clean drawing. I'm much more interested in your drawings being kind of authentic and really feeling kind of like a reflection of the experience you had of kind of looking and thinking about what you were seeing. So perfect's not the thing, but can you see how right there in that area, whoops, shoot. Can you see how right there in that area, the drawing's really starting to get kind of crisp and clear? And I would not do that same level of clarity and focus and stuff on the lamp back here. I let the lamp stay loose like that. I let the lamp stay kind of in the background, and I'll put that emphasis as heavier. And I would carry this kind of thing through the entire drawing of my bucket and my piece of paper. And I tell you what, I'll try and work on this more a little bit later and post a finished drawing of it. Okay, I think that does it for us. I'm signing off.